Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today we will be taking a look at the LEGO Harry Potter 2019 Build Your Own Adventure book, which is a really awesome book that I will be giving you a look at some of the stuff inside, not everything, since I don't want to spoil the book for you in case you want to get it, but what's really cool is that this book also includes a little mini set inside of it. In fact, a 2-in-1 set. So, aside from the book, this package includes one minifigure, 101 pieces, and retails in total for about $25 in the United States. So, without any more further ado, let's begin. Here we have the set's single minifigure, which is a relatively standard Philosopher's Stone-inspired Harry Potter minifigure. And, yeah, this exact same figure appeared last year in the Harry's Journey to Hogwarts polybag and the Hogwarts Great Hall set, but, I mean, it's a pretty good minifigure, so I certainly don't mind getting it again. His accessory, like always, is a dark brown wand, which you get an extra of, and if you don't know how those work, they can be held straight up or pointed out for dueling, which is cool. Harry has short legs, since he is only 11 at the time when this model is taking place, this scene. He has a relatively simple Gryffindor uniform torso. I like the details of the tie underneath his sweater, as well as the stripe on the bottom, though. But yeah, it's pretty simple, but effective. The back printing is the same deal. His face is one that I've looked at quite a few times, but I think it does a pretty good job at looking like a young Daniel Radcliffe. Unfortunately, and this is an issue that I was hoping would be resolved with this set and the Advent calendar, but unfortunately not, the scar is not aligned correctly with the hairpiece. I mean, here it's a bit better, but you can still see how I have to completely, I have to tilt the hair way off to the one side to get it to actually part around the scar, which is unfortunate, to say the least. Harry's alternate face is a much more frightened one, which thankfully works much better with the scar, and this face has a lot of good character to it, which I like. The hairpiece, if you can't tell, is the new one that was introduced for Harry last year, and it works really fantastically, in my opinion. Yeah, just twirling this all around, it looks basically perfect for a younger Daniel Radcliffe, but that's not all you get with this figure, because due to the set's main build being based on the sorting scene from the Philosopher's Stone, you do get the sorting hat piece in the set, which is cool since the only other way to get this is in the Hogwarts Great Hall, which is $100. And yeah, this is pretty cool. You can see how it has the molded-in face, which, just like in the movies, is designed so it's really just the creases in the hats forming a sort of face. I think it looks really good. And you can just see that all around. Yeah, it's a hat. But we do get another accessory for Harry as well. That just being this book, which is just a standard brown book. Inside we have this 1x2 tile with directions and on how to perform Wingardium Leviosa. And yeah, Harry can just hold the book if you want him to have the book. Yeah, so that's this set's Harry figure. So now let's move on to the first of the two builds, the Sorting Hat Spinner. So here is the Sorting Hat Spinner. And starting off to the side, you just get a little chest, and you can put your book in there. Really nothing to see here, it's just a box. But for our main build, this is a really nice sort of remake of the Sorting Hat, which is the very first LEGO Harry Potter set from all the way back in 2001, set number 4701 if you're not familiar. And yeah, this is just a very nice recreation of that. Starting off at the top, you can see that the structure comes to a point. You have a light gray 2x4 tile on the wall, which I'm guessing would represent a picture frame. Odd that there's no picture in it, but I think that's fine. Alternatively, could just be some odd stonework, which, again, I like the look of it, even if I don't know what it's supposed to represent. You have a couple of candles, which I imagine are supposed to be floating, which is perfectly nice looking. I like that, as well as just some wall sconces. Towards the bottom, you have some textured bricks, as well as more towards the top next to those candles. And, yeah, you get a couple of jumpers, which is where you can stand Harry for his sorting, and you get a little place to put the sorting hat, and placing that upon Harry's head. The main play feature we get here, of course, is that we can sort Harry, and you can see that we have a spinning piece and an arrow to point to one of the house crests, and what's really awesome is that this set debuts 4 new 2x2 tile prints, one for each house, because we got prints very similar to these in the Hogwarts Castle direct-to-consumer set, but in that set they were all stickered. And here we get all 4 crests printed. Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. So that's really awesome to get. These aren't unique, as they will also be appearing in the Advent calendar, but it's really cool to get them, and honestly, if you don't feel like waiting until September, I think that those might be enough to convince you to just buy the set right now. They were for me. And, of course, so just to sort Harry for the fun of it, we will spin the spinner, and Harry will land in... Oh, look at that. He landed in Gryffindor. But he nearly ended up in Slytherin, so honestly, that's pretty perfect. And again, this is a 2-in-1, so while this is the main build and probably the better one, we do have an alternate design for this model, and that is the magical Floo Fireplace. Here we have our alternate build, the Floo Fireplace, and I definitely don't like this build as much, but it's still alright. Starting off, this build does use a few less pieces than the main build, so as a result we have more stuff on the side. In addition to the book, we also have the sorting hat on its little holder, and the chest now has stuff in it, specifically the brown Nexo shield that worked as the pointer last time, as well as 2 of our house crests, whichever 2 you're not using on the model. But anyway, this is pretty simple. I like the band of dark gray that runs through the middle for some contrast. That's nice, and I also like how at the front we have just the light tan, and at the sides it's the dark tan. I mean, in terms of the colors, this looks really good. And also up on top, you can see that we have the Gryffindor crest. And if you can't guess how this works, Harry's just on a little turntable, so you can just spin him around, and now he's replaced by flames. Not green flames, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, I think it's been quite a while since they've made the flame piece in green, but I think it would have been cool to have gotten if they could have fitted in the budget to put those in here. I don't know. And, I know that they wouldn't really have worked with the other build, but it's just a bit unfortunate, because the green flames are pretty important for a Floo Fireplace, in my opinion. But anyway, turning this around to the back, now where Harry is, you can see that now we are in the Ravenclaw common room. At least I'd presume that the fireplaces with the crests over them would be leading to the common rooms, and again, you could just switch the crests around up top to be between whatever 2 houses you'd want. This side is pretty similar, but slightly different. We have more nougat this time, because we have a couple of candles clipped on, as well as a couple of what are probably meant to be wall sconces, but you could also see them as maybe being like cups to hold Floo powder. Yeah. And then again, you can just spin Harry around. He's replaced by the flame. And now he's back in Gryffindor. So that's really all there is for the builds of this set. But we do still have a book to look at, so let's look at that now. So here we have what this package will look like when you see it in store. So we get the book and the box of parts in a large cardboard, I guess you'd call it a box, although it's more of a sleeve since one side is open that you can just slide your stuff out of. But anyway, up top it tells you that this is a book with minifigure and exclusive 2-in-1 model. Cool. At the bottom we have Lego Harry Potter Build Your Own Adventure with the Wizarding World logo in the bottom right. At the left we have a little box telling us the age range and piece count of the set. And our main image shows the Sorting Hat spinner. Nice. Then, at the side, we can see the box for the parts and the book. Up top, we have images of some of the builds that are shown in the book. You can just take a quick look at those here. On this side, we get the title with an image of the model and a little circle with Harry and Hermione, which is cute. At the bottom, we have nothing, and at the back, we get a brief description. Discover building tips and ideas to inspire your own magical Lego Harry Potter models. Use the bricks inside to build one of 2 exclusive models. Then use your own Lego bricks to create an enchanting adventure of your own. And then you just have images of both of the builds. So just removing our items from inside the sleeve. Starting with the parts box, you can see that at the front, when you pull it out, it's just has this nice painting pattern all over it, and these paintings are the same designs that we see in the Hogwarts Castle direct-to-consumer set, which is kind of interesting, and it's nice to see these at a larger size and better resolution, even if they are, all blued out. And then at the bottom, we just get our parts list. And at the back, this is cut open, because that's how I thought you were supposed to get the parts out, but box includes Harry minifigure and exclusive 2-in-1 model, and here we just have this pretty great looking artwork of just a hill with Hogwarts in the background. Yeah, I just cut it open like this to get at what's inside, and you could do that. You could also just open up, like, the top, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the book itself, which is the main thing of what you're paying for here, even if it's not the main thing we all want. For me it was, though, aside from those house tiles. The cover shows our main build in full prominence, with nice diagonals with some other scenes, including Draco on his Nimbus 2001. Above him we have a little black spider. Then we have the castle with McGonagall and Nearly Headless Nick, the grounds with Hagrid and Scabbers, some blue with Hermione, and a potions classroom with Ron. And around the back, we just have details of some scenes that you get images of in the book, including the Dursley's house, Diagon Alley, the flying lesson, and Fluffy. Yeah, so again, I'm just going to show you a few pages in here, chosen at random. So this is our image for Chapter 1 of the book, which is based around the opening of the first film. All the builds in the book are based around Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, I should add. So here we can see a few builds, including this little chair in the sitting room, this fireplace which has a bunch of letters falling out of it, and of course the cupboard under the stairs, all of which look very nice. Here we have the first page based on the prologue with number 4 Privet Drive. Now just picking another page at random. Here we have a design for the cottage by the sea, where the Dursleys attempt to hide from the wizards so that Harry doesn't learn that he's a wizard. So we have Harry on a lumpy couch, a really big cake, and then the cottage, complete with a feature to knock the door out. I'm gonna show you one image from each chapter. So here is Gringotts Bank with the trolley, and then a nice bank tunnel, which looks really good, actually. I really like how that looks, and the trolley is also smart, how it uses fake wheels over the roller coaster piece, which is cool. Here we have this, which fits pretty well since this is the sorting ceremony, where in addition to the build we get in this set, which, interestingly, you can see that here and also on all of the images for this set, the tiles for the houses actually use the stickered versions instead of the prints, which is really interesting. So I'm guessing that the prints were designed late in development, probably because they wanted to have them in the advent calendar. But anyway, then other than that, here we have the hourglasses for our points, as well as some differently designed house banners. Here we have the potions classroom with some work tables, a shelf, and Snape's desk. Nothing too exciting in here. So let's also take a look at the flying lesson, why not, where you can see a couple of structures, including a nice bridge, a small watchtower, as well as a courtyard section with a statue. And then moving into some spooky magic stuff, we have Devil Snare. And you just have some designs for that, which can grab a minifigure, and this larger one even has a trapdoor to have a figure fall down through it to escape it, much like the original Devil's Snare design from 2001. Not exactly the same, but it gives me that same sort of feeling. Then at the very end, we get our instructions for both builds, ending off with this final shot where, I guess in this version of the story, Harry didn't kill Professor Quirrell, which is, pretty cool on his part. So that's really all I have for this book. So I guess now it's time for the final verdict. Actually, before the final verdict, one final thing to mention is the very small selection of extra pieces we get. We get an extra candle flame, an extra brown stud with a pinhole in it, an extra black droid arm, and then an extra dark brown wand with the newer style of the sprue for it. And now let's get on to the final verdict. So overall, for $25, would I recommend the LEGO Harry Potter Build Your Own Adventure book with minifigure and 2-in-1 build? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, really breaking this down in terms of value, it's actually really good. I'd say that just the set by itself, with the exclusive printed pieces and just the general size of it, I would probably value it alone at probably about $12, $13, so let's say half the price. And then the book is a really good hardcover book of a good length that gives out just tons of great building ideas. I showed off just a few of them, but there are hundreds of models in there, which are all really great. They're all fantastically designed by the main actual, LEGO model designers that design sets. They designed all the models in the book, so they're really high quality, very well-composed pictures. It's just nice to look at, even. Yeah, I think it's totally worth $25. Yeah, there isn't much else to say. If you like LEGO Harry Potter, the book is a really nice one to have, and the build is just a nice supplementary piece. Obviously, this main Sorting Hat build is a pretty nice callback to the humble beginnings of the line, or, well, not so humble. They did start with, 11 sets? But anyway, a callback to the beginnings of the line. The Sorting Hat's really awesome to get. This is the cheapest way to get those house tiles, and currently the only way. Yeah. So, this is a pretty cool book. I'd recommend picking it up. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Farewell, everyone.